EcoBiz show where you can get ideas to grow your business and make it greener. And today I'm joined by Claire Burdett from Social Goodness, and we're talking about using social media for good and helping save the world. So welcome, Claire. Great to have you on the show.
Oh, thanks for having me, Karen. I'm delighted to be here.
Excellent. So just a bit about Social Goodness. It's a guide to how your business can meet your customers' expectations through
Yeah.
brand actions and ensure you don't just survive but thrive in the coming decade. So
Mhm.
we'll launch into the questions. Why are some companies getting it right, both on social media and with their brand actions and thriving, while others are experiencing a lot of backlash and criticism?
It's to do with fundamental values, and also, well, it's twofold. Fundamental values that every business has their values, but a lot of the time they are tucked in a marketing file, probably. So the businesses that are thriving have taken their values and then turned it into actions. So if they say that, this is what we put people before profit, they really do put people before profit, and it comes down from the top. And they are transparent about what they do. To be fair, everything is transparent now because of online and social media. So that's the other side of it, that where in the past, before social media and a lot of online forums, people in business could hide what they're doing. They can't hide it anymore, and so people see what they're doing. Adidas is a case in point. They're associated with Kanye West, and yet within their organization, apparently the staff have been questioning the association for years, and nobody in HQ listened. And now they're having to deal with the fallout, which has been massive on social media. So, this is the thing. If people see something they don't like, they will call it out. They will then, and research shows it's about 70% of people will then go off and say, hey, have you seen what they're doing to other people, who then come in and also go for the business? So it's kind of, you have to be completely on point with everything, careful.
Yeah.
And I guess as a person, you would see that person and say, do I trust them? Do they always behave well? Do they say what they say they are doing? And that's what a business has to be now. You cannot hide anything. There's nowhere to hide. So it's kind of time to get your superhero capes on, as I've said in the past, CEOs, and step up. Time.
And sort of, I mean, so some people might just go, okay, well, then I'm not going to bother going on social media or whatever, and try and avoid it. So why is using it so important, and
Well,
how has it kind of resulted in this?
yeah. Even if you're not there, it's there. Even if it's not there, people are still talking about you. They researched from analytics. I think it's about 60% of conversations about brands don't actually mention the brand, as in tag them. So they're happening. They're happening behind the scenes. So it's a case of, do you want the conversation to carry on and people to then take other action, like some of us, for example, are buying shares in people like Nestle to pressure them to behave well. This has all come about from people gathering together. So this is going to happen anyway. So you might as well be on social media and actually be able to direct the conversation, because it's going to happen anyway.
Yeah, definitely. And business, I mean, one of the things, I mean, we were chatting, just beforehand about sort of, ads and everything and filling our feeds and that.
Yeah.
Business and brands, obviously, they're having to constantly fight these algorithms using
Yeah.
advertising, but there's major privacy concerns and also just annoyance. People just don't want their feed and that filled with ads all the time. So you talk about changes coming. What is that?
Yeah, it's already in hand. The algorithms, especially on the meta socials, which is Facebook and Instagram, are quite granular, and most people get a lot of adverts in their feed. There are ways of turning it off, but it's really hard. So people have now started taking Facebook, well, Meta, to court because they can't actually stop the adverts. They dislike them so much. And also, Apple changed its data privacy settings in the iOS app last year, and it wiped 10 billion off the income for Meta as a result, because people had to choose, do you want to have third-party adverts targeted at you in Facebook or not? And if they opted out, Facebook can't do anything with it unless they give explicit permission. So it's
Right.
coming. The thing is, the whole of social media tends to be set up at the moment to be run off advertising. So basically, advertisers are the clients. So they have the power to change what happens on social media, which they've done with Twitter. You might have noticed that a few weeks ago, where the advertisers just went into meltdown because Musk had fired the people they were supposed to be talking with. They don't know what was happening. He didn't seem to have a clue. Moderation staff had been fired, so their adverts were ending up next to stuff they didn't want it to be seen next to. And then they changed the regulations around blue tick, which was a verification system. So anybody could get a blue tick, and they did. They bought loads of them, spent their $8 and got blue tick verification. And people like Eli Lilly were impersonated. There was a tweet that went out and said, insulin is free now, we're delighted. And I think it was billions, 16 billion got wiped off Eli Lilly's share price overnight. They're not happy, apparently. So it's kind of it's a difficult situation. Social media is set up to run off advertising, and that's why we have it free. But they have to behave well in order for advertisers to want to advertise on social media. And whether it works or not, or whether their adverts end up next to other horrible things or not, or whatever, that's what then regulates the income to the social media platforms. It's an interesting situation. Is there enough popcorn? We're not sure.
Oh, yeah, it's telling times, isn't it? And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and I think it's just, well, just maybe on that. I mean, how do you, sort of around that then, if you're not being able to sort of get the right advertising that you need in that, how can you guarantee your brand survival and profit in the coming decade? And we're talking about also ethically
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
This is really important to a lot of people now.
It's embedded. It's live and breathe those values. There's a company, lots and lots of examples of good stuff. Vertex Pharmaceuticals, one, they do drugs for cystic fibrosis. They're absolutely adored by their clients. They do so much good stuff. They get out there, they help the communities, they really work with people. They're not alone. I mentioned masses in the book with loads and loads of case studies. And these are the people who have embedded their values, and they live and breathe it. They absolutely walk the talk every day. And that's when you get the loyalty. That's when people will go in and fight your corner. You don't have to advertise, because they will share it and they become advocates. And so although you're always fighting the algorithms, and we live in hope that one day they won't, be so impactful to businesses, there are other ways of doing it. You can actually get advocates, and staff and client advocacy is like huge. That is the best way of getting money flowing into the company.
Absolutely. So there are other ways, and again, I mean, there's things like using your own emailing list and stuff like that, where you're not sort of fighting against those algorithms as well.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so the last question I've got is, which I ask everyone on the show, is what is your top eco tip?
My top eco tip is not to wait. Regulation is in hand. EU has just introduced a law saying that packaging has got to be recyclable, and lots and lots of extra layers on top for, say, like coffee pods, etc. And it's going to be tough. Don't wait. Get everything in line from top to bottom. It has to come from the top downwards, otherwise it doesn't work. And so CEOs, step up, do your job, look at your company, say, right, what can we do better? Make sure you've got all of your suppliers on point. Clean Clothes campaign calls out the fashion brigade all the time on their suppliers, which are not ethical. Just do it. Don't wait, because it's going to come and you'll be behind the queue. You won't be at the vanguard. You won't have had time to get everything on point with your people, and you'll have lost market share. So do it. Just do it.
Brilliant. Good tip. Good tip. Thank you for that. And so you've got a book, Social Goodness.
Yeah,
You've got, you say, your blog and that as well. So people can find out more if they go to
yeah,
socialgoodness.co.uk.
absolutely. Yeah, and we're just about to launch a book on Audibles, the book again on Audible, and there's more coming. And yeah, you can find it on socialgoodness.co.uk.
Fantastic. Brilliant. Well, thank you
Thanks,
so
Karen.
much for joining me. I mean, I know before we got on the show, we thought there's so much more to talk about. So we'll
Yeah,
probably have to get you back on
that would be
next
cool.
year. Yeah, so thank you so much for coming and sharing your wisdom. And
Thank
to
you
all
for
of
having
our
me.
viewers, sorry.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Oh, yeah, no, you're welcome. To all of our viewers who are watching now or catch up on the replay, please leave your comments below. Please subscribe, or you can sign up to the email to have it delivered into your inbox. And do go and join Claire. Check out her website, socialgoodness.co.uk. And we will see you same time next week. And if not, I might be taking a break over December. So if not, then we'll see you in the new year. So thank you so much and take care.
Thank you.
Goodbye.